Hey everyone, Wolves 2, Liverpool 1. And if you think that you've seen this game before, you're right. We've seen this game before. Liverpool get themselves into a situation where they are the team that's got the ball. They're the team whose job it is to break the other team down and score the goals they need to correctly position themselves in the league table for where they're supposed to be. This is Wolves, bottom of the table. Not going to be the worst team ever to do it, but still bottom of the table. They are the team that beat Villa, who were above us in the table at the weekend. They drew with Arsenal the week before that, but they are still Wolves, bottom of the Premier League. And if Liverpool have got ambitions of finishing, well, look, there were reasonable ambitions of finishing third because of the way fixtures have fallen in recent weeks and the way the points have gone. Liverpool were getting it into their own hands, and they're not thrown it away as such because there's still football to be played, of course. But again, they've thrown this opportunity, and the problem is, and it just reminds me so much of 04-05, and not because Liverpool go on and win the European Cup, and that'd be great, but that's just a pointless conversation when you've just watched your team lose to the bottom of the table. What I mean is, Liverpool were chasing down Everton for the last Champions League spot, and every single time an opportunity presented itself to go and take that, they just would drop points or mess things up because it was the nature of where they are. And there comes a point in a season where, and this is always, again, what happens when you're chasing top four. You think, oh, maybe it'll come good, maybe it'll come good. And you realise that this football team's been telling you all season long that it's not good enough, that it isn't capable of putting the winning run down to make this thing academic. We are in that mire of just not being able to bend the league table to our will and whims. That's not what Liverpool are this season. Did it last season, but they can't do it this season. And is that the tactics? Is that the conditioning? Is that the players on the pitch themselves? Yeah, yes. All of them, because it's the nature of the game. And, Liverpool leave themselves open. And this is where I say, we've seen this before. We're doing the watch along and ask the question, when Liverpool get it back to 1-1, saying stick or twist. And, I would say 9 out of 10 people said twist, go for it, go and get the win. And then 1 in 10 was saying no, stick. And this is a bit of an issue where we've left ourselves with. In hindsight now, point would have been magic. But a bit in your hand off for a point now if I could go back in time. But you can't, and it wasn't necessarily inherently wrong with Liverpool going for the win. But this is what happens. This is what can happen. You leave yourself exposed, and Liverpool leave themselves exposed, and they do themselves no favours whatsoever. We've got a team full of attackers on the pitch, and we make silly decisions, poor passes, and again, I'm going to use Rio Ingamo as an example of this. And this is the thing about handing your fate to 18-year-olds is he's not ready to be that guy in these games yet. It should be supported by a network of brilliant footballers that allow him to flourish and have his opportunities in the football team. And he has one moment, which is the balancing thing, where he forces a phenomenal save out of Jose Sarr, and that could have been a real deciding factor in the match. Great goalkeeping by the way. That's a great moment, and that's why having young, talented players in your team is very important. But then there's moments later on where he's just cutting inside to no one, he's being dispossessed, and that's where you need experience, you need cool heads, and it goes back to it. We should have more players and better options. Just not good enough from Liverpool across the board. And I don't want to feel like I'm singling Rio out, by the way, because, again, pardon me, that shot showed that he's capable. He's good enough to be at this level, but we're asking too much of him. And then it needs to be the established stars who are doing things for Liverpool, and they just didn't do it enough tonight. And once again, we've left ourselves exposed, and then their winning goal, you need to go and close it down. And that's a couple of times that's happened this season as well. We just need to get out and get aggressive and get in the faces. You're leaving it to chance. And in those kind of environments and the headwind that Wolves have built up behind them, it's just the way the sort of football goes. Sometimes I feel really sorry for Joe Gomez that it's the one who comes off him. Alisson, but I have empathy for the human beings that are our footballers, but when it boils down to it, you just got to win those games or find a way to get out with your point. That's the bare minimum expectation. You've got yourself leveling too many times this season. Now we've just fucking thrown it away. Thrown away any points in the crusade for 3 because we've not earned the right to win 3 points because we've not been good enough in 45 minutes, 60 minutes, 75 minutes, 90 minutes. So it's the same old for Liverpool, really. And yeah, and again, this is what happens. You reach a point in the season where your football team is telling you what they are. Liverpool are not good enough to be a dominant force in the Premier League with the way they're set up and, you know, whatever with injuries, etc., etc. And whether that's tactics, it could be that. Shit is what it is ultimately. And it's so annoying because we just felt like we're on the cusp of really being able to feel a great deep sense of optimism, winning games of football again. You have the FA Cup to look forward to, Champions League next week, and once again, look, this is what we are. We've positioned ourselves now as a cup team, and that can be fine. But the problem is, to Wolves again, who's to say we don't do exactly the same thing again? Are we going to have to are we putting a week aside out on Friday now? Is more pressure on the FA Cup, more pressure on the Champions League? Because I don't know if this side is capable of handling that level of pressure right now. So yeah, this defeat puts so much more on the FA Cup and the Champions League, and that's a big ask for a side that has consistently shown us all season long that they haven't quite got that extra gear, those extra depths, that whatever it was that took them and made them champions last year. They just don't seem to have enough of it this time around. So yeah, really annoying, really stupid, and another one of those very, very avoidable defeats for Liverpool. I don't know what the answer is. I thought I was past manager conversations. I really thought there was enough here for us to get to the summer, and I do think that inquest needs to be had almost regardless of what happens between now and the end of the season. There is still a chance for this to be an historic season for Liverpool, but we just keep putting pressure on ourselves, and it's just whether they've got what it takes within them to thrive under pressure, because when, again, they keep showing us that it doesn't appear so. Yeah, so anyway, we roll on. We'll be back on Friday. We've got to play these again. A measure of revenge. We're looking for revenge against the bottom team in the Premier League. That's where we're at right now. But optimism can be restored with cup football. Many, many years I've had following Liverpool where we were just about good enough to creep into the Champions League places, but our seasons were defined by what we did in the cups. That still remains a possibility. But right now, I just feel so done in with it all and down in the dumps, and I could really just do with Liverpool being as good as they should be rather than being crap. If they could, please. Nice one, Liverpool.